All right, so we've just wrapped up the Unboxed Workshop where we discovered that everything is a process or the outcome of a process. So we've got technology going here. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work, but we'll find out. All right, so I'll give you a quick run through of the workshop framework that we run through so you can have a look for yourself. And as the Tom Hughes quote said that I just quoted before, everything is a process or the outcome of a process. Building an outlier team, world-class problem solvers, is the outcome of a process, the unboxed process. So, session one, what we look at is why 90% of everything that you do every day is waste. We did paper cup exercise, which highlights how much waste is actually in our communications. We then looked at how 1% is compound, how big a difference and how they can take off. We created some graphs with ChatGPT. We looked at why 10x is easier than 2x, and while we're actually on this subject, I'm doing this myself. This is not just something that I talk about. So the way that I'm going to 10x myself is now I'm not going to go and advertise these small workshops like I do anymore. What I'm going to do is go and speak to groups, businesses, companies, organisations, whatever, and speak to them all at once. That's 10xing. So instead of me having to run around spending months trying to make the sales to run a workshop, I'm going to go to groups and offer to speak to their people, and there'll be a commission-based thing for them. They'll make some money out of it as well. And that's how I will 10x what I'm currently doing. There's a big plan to do a lot of this before Christmas, and it'll be on a platform called School. So keep an eye out for what I talk about that in the next few weeks. We then did what's known as an ambitious target session, where we take a 10x target and remove all the excuses why it can't be done. Second session is we have a look at how we move from this, I'll make this confused here, across to this. We remove the hand-holding by creating autonomy. We remove stagnation by using experimentation. Disengaged people become engaged. We move them from fearing AI to embracing it, and we move from no scoreboards, who goes and watches a sporting event unless there's a scoreboard involved, to visibility via dashboards. Session 3, we looked at what a real constraint is. And we did this by a process that I learnt from a guy called Keith Cunningham, which is this, is you've got your line down here, which is reality, and your ought line up here. We ought to be doing a lot better than what we're currently doing. We look at this gap here, which are really symptoms of our real problem, and we looked at what the real problem is. And the real problem is, as Dr. Eli Goldratt used to say, the real constraint of any business, any organisation, is not the market, it's not the ability to get people or anything else. It's the management's lack of ability to focus. So we looked at all the stuff that's coming in and creating this just here and how we create the focus. Then we went across and went, we now know the problem, how are we going to fix it? So we looked at what the first 90 days looks like when you're transforming a team from great to outlier. I'm not saying they're going to go from great or even good to outlier inside 90 days, but we can certainly set them up for success in those 90 days so that it starts to take off after that. We looked at what happens during the first 4 weeks. So week 1 is people think this is a harebrained scheme, what's going on here? Week 2, they start to think this is annoying. I wonder how much longer this is going to go on for. By week 3, they're starting to think, hey, there might be something to this. And week 4, we start seeing some buy-in. This is a point where you've got to be really honest with yourself and go, can I get through this myself? The reason why most businesses don't become lean, don't build a great culture, don't become outliers, is they never ever get through this period just here. You've got to look at the fact that as the owner or the director or the lead person, you might be involved in this, but are you the right person to drive it? And do you need some outside help to get you to where you want to go, particularly through those first 4 weeks and the first 90 days. After that, you start to see a bit of momentum, it all becomes easier. And in the past the 4 weeks, we start looking at how we use video, like I'm doing right now. We're looking at dashboards, how do we set those up? We get them set up real quickly and easily because we don't want to create complexity with any of this. We don't want someone heading off and spending days or weeks trying to create dashboards. We want them ready, made, plug and play, ready to go, which is what the school platform does. But even in here, in this first 4 weeks, we don't want you messing around with this stuff. So you can go across and look at a community that I run on school.com/Scrum, and you can see how I get started and what it's all about. So through this first 4 weeks, you don't even need to worry about setting that up. Just head across there and get your people involved in that to start with. Then we'll look at how when the rubber starts to hit the road. So we do use something called packs. And with packs, we're creating tiny experiments where we're creating breakthroughs. You might have heard it referred to as 2-second lead, very similar sort of process. So we take an idea, create a hypothesis around the idea, run small experiments, small quick experiments with fast feedback loops, and we either learn something or eventually we create a breakthrough. Everything is a process or the outcome of a process. A guy called Tom Hughes said that, and if you haven't got his book yet, go and get it. You can get it for the highly expensive price of free, and it's called Great Processes. So we looked at that, how we create our own great processes. G stands for you get to the Gemba, which is where the work's actually done. It's got to be recognised by the people that are doing it. It's got to be easy for them to do, must be available where they do the actual work, and they need to be tested and trained in how to use it. This process just here, idea, hypothesis, experiment, learn or breakthrough, is built off of that great processes. Last box, as we said, building an outlier team of world-class problem solvers is the outcome of a process, the Unboxed process. Go from that, you want to go from that down there, which is most organisations, most days, to this just down here, outlier organisation, where, as Patrick Lencioni said, if you get all the people in an organisation heading in the same direction, you can dominate any industry and any market under any conditions at any time, which is exactly what we want to create. If this resonated, you want to reach out via LinkedIn Messenger, head across, you can book in for a 15-minute chat or call a triage call. You can do that via that link there, kaizenprojectdelivery.com, or you can check out school as well, school with a K, skoll.com/Scrum. Go across and check that out also for the highly expensive price of free. That's it. If you want this workshop run, you want me to run, I'm going to set it as, there's a couple of ways you could do it. I can run it as a presentation. If you just got a group that you want a presentation for, I can run it as a 30 to 60 minute presentation. I can run it as a small private workshop for your business or your organisation, or I could actually run it online as well. Not a big fan of running online, but if that's what works best for you, that's what works best for you. All you got to do is bring a crowd, 5, 10 people, whatever it may be. All right, take it, use it. Camera's not following me around. Why is that stopped? It's locked onto me. Okay. So these ones here, you can even book in and do it here where I'm at today. I'm at Reba Kai in Maroochydore, which is a fantastic little spot for doing workshops. Great food, good coffee. You want to run it here, just reach out. There is, there you go. And I've got 2 links there that you can see as well, which is the bottom one, the orange one, is my Facebook link. And the top one, you can hit me up via WhatsApp. All right, what I'll do is I'll flick you across another beanie from previous life. We'll give you a quick rundown on the workshop, and we'll speak soon. If you walk out of a workshop with a mile-long to-do list, the technical term for that workshop is a waste of your time. That's why I specifically reverse engineered Unboxed, so that your time isn't wasted. In fact, there's only 2 reasons why someone like you shows up. You're big enough to admit that you don't know what you don't know.
A wonderful bit of research by a guy called David Dunning at Cornell, who's pointed out that in order to know how good you are at something requires exactly the same skills as it does to be good at that thing in the first place.
And you know that you're going to need a who to get the how done. If you lead a team of 10 plus, you live on the Sunshine Coast, and you want your team to create a real breakthrough in Q4 of 2025, then this might be exactly what you've been looking for. At Unboxed, we're not going to pile more tasks onto you, and we're going to reset what good looks like. In session 1, we're going to uncover what is your real bottleneck and then map out a 9-day plan that your team can start to execute the next week. You'll name someone within your business who's going to own it, set up tight feedback loops, and make your team's progress visible via a simple live scoreboard. No jargon or any other bull. Just a simple process that your people can run. The date, time and the price are all in my bio, and there is only 5 spots. That's not going to change. When you're ready, DM me, I want in. We'll have a quick chat about locking in a spot, or if you see the workshop trailer video, DM me, I'm keen.